My first presentation at work. I stood in front of the whole team. My boss leaned forward and said,
Mary, say that again.
And in that moment, my English disappeared. My hands were shaking. I had practiced this sentence 20 times, but instead of saying, "We are bringing new customers," I said, "We are boring new customers." Boring means not interesting. Bringing means attracting. One small sound, one big difference, and everyone heard it. That was the most embarrassing moment of my life, and I want to tell you how it happened. If you have ever said the wrong word in English at work, stay with me.
My name is Mary. 3 weeks ago, I started a new job, a real office job in a real English-speaking company with real English-speaking people. When I got the job offer, I cried, happy tears. I called my mother. I said, "Mama, I got it. I got the job." She said, "Mary, I am so proud of you." But that night, after the happy tears, the nervous tears came, because I knew the truth. My English was okay at home. It was okay in my room, practicing alone. It was okay when I watched YouTube videos and repeated after the speaker. But office English, professional English, that was different. That was a whole other world. Still, I told myself, you are ready. You prepared for this. So, on my first morning, I woke up early. I ironed my clothes, I made tea, and I practiced. I stood in my kitchen and I said out loud, "Good morning, my name is Mary. I am very happy to be part of this team." I said it 5 times, then 10 times. I said it in the shower. I said it on the bus. I whispered it while walking through the office door. But here is what nobody tells you about practicing at home. Practice at home is quiet. Practice at home is safe. Practice at home does not have people looking at you, waiting for you, judging you. The office was loud, fast. Everyone spoke quickly. They used short words. They used phrases I had never heard before. Someone said, "Let's circle back on that." And I thought, circle back? Where are we going? Someone else said, "Let's touch base." I smiled and nodded, but inside I was thinking, what base? What are we touching? My desk was near a woman named Linda. She was kind. She had short red hair and a warm smile. On my first day, she leaned over and said,
"Don't worry. This place feels confusing at first. You'll get it."
I smiled back. "Thank you," I said. "I hope so." And I did hope so. I really, really hoped so. By Wednesday of my first week, I thought I was settling in. I was learning the office routine. I knew where the printer was. I knew which coffee mug was mine. I knew that my boss, Mr. Collins, liked his morning meetings to start exactly on time, not 1 minute late. Mr. Collins was serious, professional. He spoke very clearly and very precisely. He was not a mean person, but he was exact. Everything had to be correct. On Wednesday afternoon, the office phone rang. Mr. Collins was in a meeting. Linda was at lunch. The phone kept ringing. I looked around. Nobody else was moving. So I took a breath and I answered it. "Good afternoon," I said. "This is Mary speaking." The voice on the other end was fast, very fast.
Hi, yes, this is David Chen calling from Greenfield Solutions. I need to speak with someone about the proposal that was sent last Tuesday. We have a few questions about the timeline and the deliverables, specifically points 3 and 5. Can you help me with that, or should I be speaking with someone else?
I had understood maybe 60% of that sentence. He said, I need to speak about the proposal timeline and deliverables. Timeline means schedule. Deliverables means the things we promise to give. When someone speaks fast, it does not mean your English is bad. It just means your brain needs one more second. Of course, I said slowly. Can you please hold one moment? I will transfer your call.
Sure.
My heart was beating fast. I walked quickly to Mr. Collins' office and knocked softly. He looked up. I'm sorry, I said. There is a call. A man from Greenfield Solutions. He is asking about a proposal and a timeline and points 3 and 5. Mr. Collins stood up immediately.
Thank you, Mary. I'll take it.
He walked past me and picked up the phone. I walked back to my desk. My hands were a little shaky. It was not a big mistake. I had handled it. But as I sat down, I kept thinking, what if Mr. Collins had not been there? What if I had tried to answer those questions myself? What would I have said? Linda came back from lunch and sat down next to me. You okay? She asked. You look a little pale. I answered the phone, I said. The client spoke very fast. Linda laughed softly. David Chen always speaks fast. Even I have to ask him to repeat himself sometimes. That made me feel slightly better. Slightly. But only slightly. Because I knew the phone call was not my real test. The real test was coming. Every Thursday, Mr. Collins held a team meeting. Full team, all 8 of us, in the glass meeting room. And Thursday was tomorrow.